Life.
What's up, YouTube? It's your girl Dee Dee. Welcome back to another video, you guys. Listen, I'm back at it, back with another reaction video. Now, this one comes from DJ Hamp. This might be risky, and also Nothing But the Truth podcast, Truth Hurts. Listen, they went in again in this particular video. They're basically, telling this woman in this clip, or speaking on the fact that women who claim to be these boss bees, that is really not a flex. That's not a flex, and they're gonna talk about it. There was a lot that was discussed in this particular video, but we gonna get into it, y'all. This was another good one. Shout out to them. They've been putting out some really good content, and I'm really loving it. So shout out to DJ Hamp and This Might Be Risky podcast. You guys, also Truth Hurts. Make sure you support their channels if you haven't already. Go over, subscribe, watch their content, support them in any way possible. All right. So we're going to get into the video. But before we do, make sure you are subscribed to the channel if you like the content, share and like the video, and turn on that notification bell to be notified when I upload new content. All right. So make sure you are doing that to support the channel. Now let's go ahead and get into the video. Here we go.
Sarah, okay, so you said the blind can't lead the blind and you can't lead being broke. So it depends on the season that you're in. So like I was going back to what I was saying, I'll just use myself as an example, okay? Because I've had some moments in time where I've been broke from circumstances or situations that has happened to me, but I'm still a boss, okay? I have a background in surgery. I'm a licensed paralegal. I have 3 businesses, a makeup company, a radio show, and a DNA testing company. I travel all over the world. I'm definitely a boss. But at the end of the day, I still experience preterm labor with my child. It put me in the hospital for several months, and I have a child that's on the spectrum. And so navigating through that, I had to choose my situation and circumstance for where I was right now. But I'm also married. Okay. So I have a provider in my life, but I went from being in a masculine situation to becoming a wife and not having to worry about paying bills and doing things like that. So at the end of the day, people will look at that as being broke or whatever, because I'm not, going out working, but my situation and circumstance took a turn. Does that mean that I'm not a boss? Absolutely not, because I can still stand up.
But what's the fascination about being a boss? She's saying she went from that to being married. Certain circumstances and situations put her in a different position to where now she's married and she doesn't have to worry about bills. She has a provider. She has a family. That's a great thing. But what's this fascination about being a boss? This makes me think of my own situation, being young and married. And with my own mother, I was raised by a single mother who alluded that I wasn't taking care of myself, as if that was a bad thing, because I had a husband who was taking care of me and taking care of the household while I was at home with our kids, especially, when they were younger. So it was alluded to that because I wasn't taking care of myself, that I had a husband who was taking care of me, that somehow that was a bad thing. And I think there's this mentality that some women have, because somewhere along the way, either someone or, society has made you feel like if you are not doing it yourself as the woman, that you're somehow less than. And I don't think people talk about that a lot. That, even if you have a husband who is a provider of everything a lot of women are looking for, somehow when you have individuals in your life who look at that, either what I've learned now, they were intimidated by it and jealous because they didn't have it. So they try to make you think that what you have is bad, and somehow you supposed to be out here stomping the pavement as a boss, taking care of yourself, and somehow having a husband who's providing for you and his family is somehow not a good thing. Like it's a step down or it's a step backwards. They try to make you feel like you being a stay-at-home wife is not, a rewarding job, that as if you're not really contributing by taking care of your kids in the home, that the only way that you're really contributing is if you're out here working, doing it for yourself. See, it's a mind game that I think even your parents push into your head because it's something that they've never been able to accomplish. They've never been able to have a husband to take care of them and provide for them, and they're using that as a way to deter you from it, because they hate to see you with something that they could never accomplish. So they minimize the effectiveness and of having a husband as a provider, and you being at home raising your kids and taking care of them, making sure that they're safe, somehow they try to convince you to believe that that is not profitable and that is not a good thing, and that you need to be out here working and to feel fulfilled. I hear feminists say this, that you need to be fulfilled as a working woman. You need to contribute to society to feel worthy. I think it's a bunch of BS. You know, you can feel just as rewarded. And what's not rewarding about being able to be at home with your kids and nurture your kids and take care of your kids and teach your kids? What's not rewarding about that? See, they try to flip it and make you think it's the opposite, and then trick women into doing that. And now they're regretting it and mad that they don't have it the other way. But I'm so glad I was able to see past that, because it was very confusing as a younger woman, you know, with a young family and trying to do it. It was confusing to hear that type of rhetoric from the people who say they love you the most, to try to deter you from it because you don't want to see it happening, because you wasn't able to accomplish it. You know what I'm saying? So I get that. The idea is to make you think being a mother at home is not rewarding, not fulfilling, that it's such a traumatic experience, that it's just so much stress and it's so much this. That's a conditioning and a brainwashing to make you think that way, so you don't aspire to be a wife and a mother and take care of your kids. But they want you out on the pavement stomping and chasing a boss chick status and chasing the work and stressing yourself out and not being able to have time for a family and a husband, and trying to climb the corporate ladder to do all of that. And then at the end, you still are not fulfilled. You're still lacking because there's something still missing. So I get what it is, but a lot of people don't. But anyway, that just made me think of that, y'all. Let's get back into the video. Here we go.
If my husband falls down, I'll still be able to stand up. I'm a hustler by nature, but sometimes life can, you know, take a turn. I'm still a leader. I'm still bossed up, but I know my place. And I also know that there's seasons and reasons, and that can be for male and female. Sometimes guys will choose to, you know, get their education or to start businesses, and their money may not reflect what us women think that the guy needs to have to be leaders or to be in a relationship. But that can change overnight. So that's why I'm coming from the space that I'm coming from.
Can I say something? I don't know if y'all hear me.
I can hear you.
We can hear you. Hold up, explicit. Go ahead, Naeem. Real quick.
So I want to say something. Just thinking back in history, like some of the greatest leaders of the world were never known for having money. So I don't necessarily agree that money makes you a leader or not. Like, how much money did Malcolm X have, and Martin Luther King, or Harriet Tubman, or Fred Hampton? These guys were never known for money, but their mindset was what made them a leader, what made them a boss. So I don't necessarily think that money equates to leadership ability or boss ability, you know. And I don't see anything wrong with a woman being a boss. It's like you got to pick and choose. First, if a woman's a gold digger, it's thumbs down for that. But when she's say I'm a boss, I get on my own, it's thumbs down for that too. Like, you got to pick a side. What's wrong with a woman being Ric Flair, going woo, styling and pride? What's wrong with that? Like, I don't understand. What's wrong with that? Like, I see a lot of people who hate, like Carissa Shields, for example, because the way she talks and she's cocky and all that. But they championed Floyd. They love Floyd for that. Ali did the same thing. Like, what's wrong with a woman knowing she's it? You know what I mean? I don't see anything wrong. I would want my daughter to. I would want my daughter to have a boss mentality.
That's right.
It don't got to be a.
Well, I don't think it's anything wrong with being confident and, you know, even cocky sometimes when you have accomplished certain things, or you're confident in what you're able and capable of doing. I don't think anything's wrong with that. But there is a difference between entitlements and being masculine and thinking that you're better than the next person because of your accomplishments. I think you could be super accomplished in any area, women and men, but you can still have a attitude of appreciation and respect for others. I think a lot of times people misconstrue being confident and proud about your accomplishments, but to the point to where they take it, overboard, to now they start feeling like they're, better than people and looking down on. I just don't think that you have to have that part of it. That's the only part that for me becomes an issue, where you start looking down on people and saying you're better than folk and you're that girl and you're better than everybody else, because you're not the only person that's accomplished in life. But you don't have to take on that nasty mentality that I see a lot of people taking on just because they've worked hard and accomplished something. You're not the only one. So I just think there's a difference between being confident and even cocky sometimes versus being disrespectful, acting like you're superior to people because of the things that you've accomplished. Let's continue.
Boss B, you take the B off and put chick, or whatever you want to call it. So that's my little 2 cents right there.
Sorry if I'm interrupting. I think that there needs to be a clear definition of what boss B is referring to, right? Are we referring to the attitude, or are we referring to the characteristics and the traits that, that make a woman a boss? Like, what are we exactly referring to?
I love how you said that. I like that.
So let me expound for a second, right? Because all of that was decent, right? A boss is a person who is in charge of workers or a group or an organization. So no, you don't necessarily have to have money to be in charge of people, but what a boss is somebody that can put you in position. So we can move the goalposts and play with a whole bunch of words, but usually when a woman says that she's a boss, not only is it an aesthetic, not only is it a lifestyle, but it's also a bank account associated as well. So let's stick straight to that. Like we could play around with it and go over here. We can talk about Malcolm X, who had a lot of influence, but he had a lot of power. He had a lot of men behind him. But when we talk about a boss, I hate the word. It was tasteless.
Yeah, it's tasteless.
They're usually talking about the money they had, the accolades they had, and the influence and power that they had. And so the initial question was, or is it a flex to a man for a woman to be a boss? So Sarah said no. Coco said yes. Naeem, you would love to
I said no.
Okay,
I say yes. I say yes.
I say yes. And Hot Boy Twin, why are you saying it's not a flex for a woman?
Well, it's not a flex because sometimes when a woman feels she a boss, she feel like she gonna dominate her man and she's in charge and she want to lead because she make more money. Well, you need to be with another woman then, because at the end of the day, if you such up a boss, your man, you looking down at him. So like you said, a boss is a leader. If you fall off, the leader don't fall off. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
So if you a boss, why you want to be a boss woman if your man can't even give you input because you make more money with him? He shouldn't worry about how much money she makes.
Why a woman being a boss immediately has to emasculate a man immediately?
Because
right, and that's the way the women think, and I think it doesn't have to be that way, but that's how they take it. It's like there are some women who have been waiting their whole lives to be in that position, child.
oh my God,
They've been waiting their whole lives to be able to grandstand on everybody. They've been waiting their whole life to say, I got money, baby. You can't tell me I got money. You talking to her. They can't wait to be in a position to do that. So they've been waiting there. Some of these women have been waiting their whole lives to be able to say those words to somebody. And they really want to say it to a man too, because if he think he gonna do this and do that, he got nothing coming because I run this. This is my shit. They can't wait to say what's theirs and that they run it and they're in control of it and you can't do anything or say anything about it. They've been waiting their whole lives to do that. So this is why it's so easy and why so many women get to a position in life and they act that way. And they don't realize that it alienates them from relationships because men don't want to deal with no women that talk like that and act like that. But the minute when that money starts dwindling and them checks get low or whatever, then you see a different attitude. Now they want to be nice to you. Now they understand the importance of things and now they want to hear what you got to say. Why? Because they need your money now. See, it's all good as long as the money flowing and everything good. Now you got this chip on your shoulder because I'm making money and I'm this and I can buy what I want and I don't need you. Oh, they big money talk then. But not realizing that it ain't gonna always be like that. Y'all should know that money dwindles because you spend it a lot. Then you're not making a lot. The business start to dwindle. Now the money ain't. Now they want to be nice. Now all of a sudden they have this epiphany. Now they want to talk to you and now they want you to start paying. They want you to do this and help them. But now they want you to help level them back up. They don't want to contribute anything. Then you talk to you like you ain't. But then when that money started to fall, now they looking for somebody to level them back up. See, and then it's a different tone in their voice. Yeah, let's continue.
Women always be dominated over their money.
Why can't he just be a boss too? Like,
exactly. Why can't
I'm
you
a
be
boss,
bosses?
but I don't want a boss woman. I've been running businesses all my life, but I'd rather take the janitor at my job who's more feminine. I don't care how much money she makes. I don't care about that.
Why does being a boss mean she not? I'm actually a boss in my real life. I own a business. I'm a mother of 3 children. I'm a boss of my house. I'm the boss.
I had a lot of them like that, and it just don't work like that. When a man is dominant,
I come to my man, that is like the one place I tell him all the time, I can be soft with him. I melt. I'm like.
So why didn't you and the janitor work then? For
Huh?
example.
No,
Why didn't you and the janitor
I'd
work?
rather have a janitor or something because I don't care about how much money. Like I say, the money don't define a person. But if the
Right.
woman has a lot of money, she always say, "Oh, my friend, he just did this or did that because of the money." It shouldn't be about that. You know, if you pick right, you should be good.
As an actual entrepreneur, you know, when I'm sure other people are entrepreneurs too, right?
Mm-hmm.
Men, we love when our women do simple things. Like, I like when my woman cook for me, right? I like when she do my meal prep. That's so important to me. I don't know why I like it. I just love when she do that, right? So, but me as a boss, it's certain tasks that I can't concern myself with other places. As an entrepreneur, as a leader of a business, right?
Yes.
I'm not sweeping floors. I'm not doing the little small tasks because I have no business there. Which typically a boss, you know, B word, right? She has no. I don't got no business cooking in here for you. Like, nigga, we can get maids. We can get maids. We can get chefs. We can have people cook. We can go buy some food, right? Because she also, like as a boss should, this thing. I'm way more valuable leading this company doing big things than to cook you a meal, which a lot of us men appreciate those small things because at the end of the day, we just men.
Yes.
So you wouldn't want a woman that make more money than you?
Would I want a woman that make more money than me?
Yeah.
I can't imagine that happening, but I wouldn't. Not ideally, no.
Oh, I guess we different. I love that. I love a woman make more money than me.
Okay. No, explain that. Explain that.
I mean, it's simple. If you make more than her 8 times out of 10, she wants you to cover everything. So if she make more than me, we go out. I don't even got to do like the fake. She don't even got to do like, you know how basically ain't no faking when it comes to the bill. Like, you know, she might cover it, or she might say, hey, if you know you like basketball. She might like basketball. It's a game. Want to go to the game? She might cover the ticket. So it's just a simple fact that if she has money, more money than you, you don't have to be she don't have to be a bill to you.
Okay, so
well, I don't know. He said the operative word might, because the women who claim that they make more, they don't want to spend it. They still want you to spend yours. So even if they make more, they don't want to pay. They don't want to pay for the dates. They don't want to cover anything. They still think you as the man should still cover it all. So make that make sense. It would be an ideal situation if you have a woman who makes good money and you make good money and y'all work together with that and y'all build upon it or expound upon it. That could be a good situation. But no, the women that are out here who claim to make all this money, they don't want to spend it. They say my money is my money and your money is my money. They still want you to pay for the dates. They still want you to pay for everything. So how is that beneficial? How is that beneficial having a woman who makes more, but she doesn't want to spend it on you? You know what I mean? That's crazy to me. And that's what we hear in 2026. Let's continue.
You would like a woman that had more money than you because it would save you money, possibly. Is that what you're saying?
Of course, 1,000%. I would love that.
Okay.
What about
I would love that. I would love a woman with more money than me.
You gotta date
Listen,
me.
I know what I am. All of that real man. That's not. You're not a real man. Listen, they say you're not a real man if you ask women for money. I'm not a real man then. Like, I'm not a real man. I don't know what award I get for being a real man. Like, take me out of that. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you're demasculated. I know who I am when I go to the bathroom. I grab a penis when I use the bathroom when I pick a pee. Like, I know what I am. So, her income, my income don't determine if I'm a man or not. Like, that's I don't know where that come from.
You
Like,
really have to make more money than you in order for that to happen. Like, I date dudes who make way more money than me, and I still spoil my. What do that got to do with it?
Yeah.
Because I'm spoiling mine, baby.
you said your man make more, but you still treat him?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
And
that's what a woman's
kudos
supposed to do.
Then kudos to you. That means that's even
so-
doper. But obviously, that's not the norm. You're an exception to the rule, probably.
So before we
That's
get
normal. That's actually normal.
hold up. So before we get too far going with this, right? We're gonna clean it up a little bit, and then I'll let everybody cook. You know how they want to cook, right? So let me just say this, right? A boss. I don't think that being a boss is a masculine thing, right? I don't even believe that there's a such thing as, especially in today's society, as a so-called gender-specific role within a house. Like the young lady said, my wife's a boss. My wife's a multi-millionaire, but when she comes in the house, she's a wife. So I think that that's the issue that we're getting with a lot of these women who get in these positions of having a certain amount of money or a certain amount of status. They don't know how to come off and take that. They don't know how to come home and take the hat off. And I think that that's the issue with a lot of these men. You can be the boss in the world. You be that. But when you come in the house, it's time to let your ponytail down. And so I think that a lot of these women have been independent so long that when you start to get in relationships with them because they've been self-sufficient so long, they kind of put you into a situation where it's a measuring contest. And I don't think that any man wants to feel like him and his girlfriend are going to combat in the house about who's the man and who's who. So
Yeah, it's like a competition thing. You know, you're seeing who got bigger balls than the other, who can do who is better than the other one. I don't think anybody wants that. You know what I mean? And that doesn't put you in a feminine position either. You can't just be the soft loving wife. You're out here trying to be better than a man. That means you want to show that your balls are bigger than his. And I'm like, no, that ain't cute. That ain't cute. And who wants to do that? Like, I mean, women talk about this soft, girl life and all this, but then you keep putting yourself in a position to where you got to be hard and where you got to keep, leveling up and all that. That's a lot of work. I don't want to do all that type of work. I would prefer to just decorate my house, over and over and over again. Change things up in the house, because that's what I tend to do anyway. Change the curtains, you know what I mean? Change towels and, change rugs and, you know what I mean? Do things in the house like that. That's easy and fun. I don't want to have to be paving the goddamn pavement, trying to work hard. I want to have hobbies like this, things that I can do for fun and do it at my leisure and enjoy it. And and spend time, be around my kids and my family all day. Like, I don't have to go out and chase the bag, paving the ground or level up and show my man I got the bigger balls. I don't want balls. I'm not a man. That's what it tends to look like, though, for a lot of these boss chicks. I'm just saying. Let's continue.
I understand what Sarah was saying, because I definitely, I get that perspective and from that way. But I also get what Ryan, is it Ryan, R-I-A-N? But I also get what she's saying. I'm a single mother, I'm a boss, but I know how to flip the switch. And that's a rarity for most women. That is a rarity. Not a lot of women know how to flip the switch. They'll literally want you to come in the house and outman them. And that is why a lot of men feel away about these she bosses. But go ahead, if anybody.
If I may, so automatically when I hear the term boss B, like, I'm thinking of the attitude that's associated with it.
Okay.
Right. That's why I'm not you'll never hear that come out of my mouth. Right.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't find it feminine to use that term. I don't find it feminine. I don't find it whatever ladylike. I just don't like it. Right. And you can be a boss and not have to proclaim to the world that I'm a boss. Yeah. Right. You don't need to say everything. Just do it. Just lead.
Can I piggyback off of what you're saying real quick? Because I didn't get to answer the question. So for me, I think it's a flex for somebody else to call you that. Yes. When you calling yourself that, no, that's it's not. I think when somebody else is going, nah, she a boss. Like, you got to understand, like, she a boss. Like, for me to walk around and be like, I'm a self-proclaimed boss bitch, like, that's cool and all, but it's kind of corny to me. Yes. When somebody else is giving it to you and going, nah, you don't understand, she a boss. Like, that's something completely fucking different.
Yes.
I ain't mad at that. All right. So how about this? And then we'll wrap this topic up. So this is my feeling. I feel like traditional men don't want a boss, and that is where I'm going to land the plane with that.
I think we doing well, Truth, but there was so much oxymoronic things that was said.
Okay.
Like, for instance, Ryan said, "Oh, I think we can both be bosses." I ain't never seen a castle with two flags. No. And how you do anything is how you do everything. So we hope that they can turn it off when they get home. But if you're doing that for 10 hours a day, it's highly unlikely and unrealistic, right? I also keep hearing everybody talking about how many LLCs they got. If you ain't generating a profit or turning a revenue, I don't want to hear that shit.
That's a fact.
So we keep on saying, I've done this and I've done that. Can you prove it? And the mentality is uberly important, Truth, like you mentioned, right? And you can't eat hope, Coco. You can't eat manifestation, right? But I keep talking about, oh, this is my mindset. I'm going to get busy. Prove it. Right? A lot of people come in my gym acting like they can fight until it's time to fight. Then they realize they can't fight and need to start from day one, to square one. So where are we really? Because Coco, you said you didn't agree with the term, but as you spoke, you actually did.
Well, I just gave my 2 cents on what I think.
No, it was 10 cents. It was a lot. But I think I just want you to organize it. You know what I mean? Like, so
that's why I took a couple steps back, and I just was like, it just depends on where you're at. Like, when Sarah was saying, she felt that a boss bitch was a mentality, and then some people might look at it as a financial aspect. So I was just trying to speak to both and just, So, but I feel you though.
Well, what you did was make it a one-size-fit-all type thing, and that's the issue that we have with society, and especially with women. One thing about women, they're going to find a way to squeeze in there under some type of category. Well, I could be bad, but as long as I'm fat, but I'm pretty, I'm bad. No, bad is just strictly an aesthetic. And one thing about a woman, they are going to find some type of way. Well, I'm not really because I just slept with 50 men, but I only put one piece in my mouth. Y'all like
It's always a
some
loophole.
type of way to squeeze in there. Like, I'm gonna get in here one way or another. And the harsh reality is you can't be broke and be a boss. They just do not go together. It just doesn't. You know?
I don't know. I hate to sound like I always harp on women, but I just think, yeah, you know, like they were saying, how women think and go back and forth and try to make exceptions and do all of that. It's the truth, and I think we got to learn how to do better. That's all. You know, I think women are great assets to me. They can be a great asset to a man, and the man is great for a woman. We're good for each other if we know how to navigate that, though. You know, we know what we're doing and we have our roles and we stick with it, and we stick in the place of where we're good at. We do what, you know, stick to the roles that you are good at. If you're good at those things, work on that. And whatever, and y'all work on it together, whatever it is. You know what I mean? But yeah, this whole boss B situation is, you know, I don't agree with it. I do think I don't think that it's feminine at all. I don't think that it suits women to walk around and call themselves boss bees. You know what I mean? Even if you are successful at something, once again, and if that is what you are doing, and I agree with what the other lady said too, that, you know, you don't have to go around, you know, telling the world that you are this and that you that. If somebody else sees you as such and they say it, okay, cool. But it's not something that you should be self-proclaiming and wording around telling everybody that's what you are, because then it just seems inauthentic, and it does seem a little lame to do that. It's like you're trying to force it on yourself. You're trying to make people look at you as such because you don't really believe that about yourself, you know. And it's one thing, you as women, you can be accomplished. You can work, you can accomplish things in life and take care of yourself and do pretty well at it. But don't think that just because you're doing that it entitles you to this certain behavior or certain attitude. You don't have to have a nasty attitude because you are considered a boss. You don't have to, you know, look down on people because you are a boss. You don't have to be nasty. You could have a great personality and a great sense of self and know who you are and still be a good person to people and treat people well. This mindset of I'm a boss, you could never tell me, and all this kind of stuff, how some women are. And I don't think this is all women, but there are some women who act like that, and it's very disturbing, you know, and it's very rude and nasty. And if you know, and if that's just who you are, that's just who you are, with money or without it, or boss or not. But, you know, I would hope that women could, you know, strive to not only be successful if that's what you want in your own right, but to also understand that it doesn't entitle you to a nasty behavior and to look down on men, and look down especially on your man, the man that you have, and make him feel less than because he doesn't have your work ethic, or he doesn't aspire to have what you have, but he's still a good man. You know what I mean? So yeah, this was a good conversation. Shout out to Hamp once again. Shout out to Truth Hurts. Make sure you support them, y'all. Chime in the comments below. I definitely want to hear your thoughts on this one. It was a really good conversation, y'all. So thank y'all so much for watching. Let me know your thoughts, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye.
DeeDeesReactions.